Hi, I'm Nicola Smith from foreverfit.tv. In this video I'm going to share how to make kombucha. Now kombucha is a very refreshing, beautiful summer drink that is amazing for your gut health. It's full of beneficial bacteria. It also really helps your liver to detoxify, and it's really easy to make. So to start with, what you'll need is a nice big pot. You then want to have some tea, and I've got 4 black tea leaves here and 1 cup of sugar. Now the key to kombucha is to have yourself a scoby. Now scoby stands for symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast, and it's that this guy or girl, we like to name them, sits at the top here of your kombucha. You also need to have yourself a good jar to be able to brew your kombucha with. Now the reason this is so powerful is it really helps to get everything going in a digestive system. For me personally, it really helped with candida and all of my skin problems because it helped to create a really great environment for my liver and my digestive system as well. So there's loads of beneficial properties that come from your kombucha. Now when you first start making your kombucha, you want to get the scoby so it comes with about 250 mils of liquid. So this liquid is your starter liquid, which is going to help your batch be nice and beautiful. Now your scoby is this slimy alien looking thing that is not to be worried about and not to be afraid of, because this does all the beautiful work with helping to break down the sugar and helping to ferment the tea. Now to make your kombucha, you want to grab 500 mils of water and you're going to put that into a pot. You're going to then add in your 1 cup of sugar. Now the sugar is what helps the scoby to ferment the tea, so the actual end product doesn't have much sugar in it, so we don't have to worry about the sugar. Now the sugar I'm using here is just organic cane sugar. Now we do make our version with honey and we use half the amount, so we'd use half a cup of honey, or you could use a different type of sugar as well. The key is to make sure that all of the sugar is dissolved in this boiling water. You can do this over a stove and just bringing the water to a boil while the sugar melts away. Then you're going to add in your 4 tea bags. Now this is just black tea. You're going to add it into the liquid. Now you can use loose leaf tea, and you'd use 4 tablespoons of loose leaf tea. You can also use green tea or Darjeeling tea. You want to make sure that the tea does have some tannins in it, because that's what helps to keep the scoby really healthy. And so then you can start to play around with flavours of tea, but you want to have some black tea properties in there, so maybe 2 bags. But the basic version is that you want to have 4 tablespoons of 4 black tea bags, and you're just going to let this steep. And while it's steeping and the tea is brewing, you're going to allow this liquid to cool down. Now to complete the kombucha process, you're going to remove the tea bags from this cooled liquid with a wooden spoon, because this helps to keep all the properties nice and balanced in our kombucha. And then you're going to add water, so you have a total of 3 litres, so you're going to add 2.5 litres into your liquid of nice cold water. You're then going to pour this 3 litres into your nice big vessel. And then you're going to add in your scoby. And so if you've been given a scoby from a friend, hopefully it's in a jar like this and it's got some liquid with it as well. And this is helping to bring some of the kombucha that's already existing, so all of the properties with that, as well as your scoby, is going to be introduced into this liquid. Then all we do is we cover this up, and we want to make sure that it's covered with a tea towel or a cheesecloth so it can breathe. You want to make sure that it's nice and tight, so putting a piece of string or a rubber band as well, because you want to make sure that no little fruit flies can get in them, because it can really attract them as well. So then once this is all set up like this, you're going to leave this in a nice cool pantry, and you're going to leave it there for 5 to 7 days for it to brew and for it to naturally ferment. And this is where the scoby is going to eat away all of the sugar and ferment and create all these beautiful properties that are in the kombucha. Now the great thing is you can make kombucha without an existing scoby just by using a bottle of pre-made kombucha. Now within kombucha you will have all the fermented products, all the properties there that help to grow your own scoby. So you follow all of the exact same process to fill your large vessel up with your tea, make sure it's nice and cool, and then you're going to add your bottle of kombucha. So this is a 750 ml bottle, and inside it's got all the beneficial bacteria and all the properties that are going to help form the SCOBY. You can use 350 ml, just going to take a little longer to form the SCOBY. Now, all that happens is instead of a 5 to 7 day brewing time, this may go into a 10 to 15 day time for that SCOBY to form. It's very dependent on the temperature and how strong this kombucha is. So the great thing is you can make it if you can't get hold of a SCOBY, just get hold of a really good bottle of kombucha and you'll be able to make it at home as well. Now this kombucha has been sitting for 5 days and it's very dependent on where you're living and the temperature. So we're in summertime right now, and so this is brewing much quicker. And so you want to taste it as you go, and you're going to find a point where it's going to sit just perfect for your taste buds, and it needs to have like a slightly sweet and slightly tart flavour to it, and it balances each other out. And so then you're going to take the lid off the kombucha, and then you're going to pour it into some glass bottles. And this is where it's going to then do its second fermentation. So as you're pouring, so this was 3 litres that we've made, and so these are 750 ml bottles, so it makes around 4 bottles of these. Then in these bottles, they're going to sit in a pantry in a nice cool dark space, still at room temperature. It's going to sit for 1 to 3 days to do its second fermentation. And it's in this stage that you can flavour it if you like. Now when you fill them up, you want to leave enough room so that when you add the flavour to it, it's not going to overflow. Now with the flavour that I like to use is just ginger, so I've got some minced ginger here, and I'm going to add it into the jar. I'm just adding just a little dollop. Now what we're doing is we're introducing back some natural sugars from these fruits. And it's these natural sugars that are introduced to this which are going to ferment and which are going to carbonate your kombucha. So when you open it in 1 to 3 days, depending on the temperature again, it's going to be this beautiful, refreshing, fizzy drink. Now another thing I like to add into it is raspberries. So I've just got some frozen raspberries. So this is going to turn it into a bright pink colour. And I'm going to add enough to just about get it to the top. And put that into the bottle, and then I might add some orange slices into these. Now you want to have it so they're chopped up nice and fine so that you can get them back out of the jar again, because that can be a bit annoying at the end. So you want to make sure they're thin enough so they slide out nice and easily. And so I'll just alternate these. So you'll just do the lids up nice and tight, and then you're going to leave them in the pantry, a room temperature space, for them to naturally ferment and get that carbonation happening. Then to stop the fermentation happening, you just place them in the fridge. Now if you were to leave it too long, they just become very sour and it just turns to like a very vinegary taste. You could even use it, if you did make a mistake, you've got plenty of vinegar that you can use in your recipes. So it's a process that you want to learn by doing, and it's a very simple process, so it can't go too wrong, but you may leave it just a day too late and it could become very tangy, or you may turn it too soon and it could be too sweet. So it's very much about personal preference and finding the timing that's right for you and the flavours that suit you and your family. So as you can see, it's a very simple recipe for you to be able to make your kombucha at home. So I do hope you try it. I hope you find it not too scary. Remember, the first time you do anything is the world of the unknown, but the more you do it, the more familiar you'll get, and the more you'll find your own unique recipe that you love. Hey, I hope you found this video useful. Do let me know. Comment below, let me know how you found it. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'd love to hear from you.